Hello, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to my Let's Play of Ys Origin. We last left off running around a bit, trying to figure out how to power up our evil ring, and finally, getting it to happen after killing enough of those weird skeleton minions, and freeing, Lady, or almost freeing Lady Rhea. She's trapped in a barrier, but at least we did get something to help us along our way. What did she give us? Pretty sure she gave us something. Well, suffice it to say, we now have to continue moving on here to try and continue fighting more enemies. Oh yeah, we did get a key, that's it. We got a key that should open a door that we couldn't get through before. Here we go. So now with that, we are finally into the next area here, where apparently there are dragons. But thankfully they're not too bad. But we got plenty of other enemies to deal with too. Or I guess they could be wyverns too, if you want. I'm not quite sure what the difference between a dragon and a wyvern is sometimes. I guess that's something I would have to look up on. Like, I guess normally you would assume a wyvern is something smaller than a dragon. That dragons are usually much bigger, breathe fire and stuff like that, and fly usually. Oh, looks like I need to make sure I have this equipped if I want to take care of any of these skeleton-like minions. There we go. That's the only problem I have with this whole sand area is the whole sinking part. I've always had, it's always been kind of annoying with plenty of other games too, when they have some sort of, environment that makes it hard for you to do stuff in. And I can understand kind of having it there to bring some new challenge or changes to the map, but, it's always kind of annoying when you don't always get something to help you with it. Ah, darn it. I really need to heal here before I get killed, and it's definitely not that way. Okay, so there's this area here, but I don't think I can get anywhere until I take care of that here. Well, at least I can move around fast enough to not worry about them usually. There we go. Sometimes all you have to do is just keep moving if you want to beat the enemy and make it out alive. Well, I got the medallion I apparently needed, but I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to use it. Seriously? Well, right now, let me just keep moving and get out of here before something really does decide to kill me. definitely a good idea that if you're ever low to make sure to find a statue and save. You know, I should be alright for now, but yeah, as I said, I'm curious as to where I take my medallion I just picked up. Go. So it might be good to try and maybe grind a little just to get some levels to help. That's what I normally do if I'm having any trouble with certain enemies. Of course, I never try to go for the extremes. Like I actually finished up playing Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky 2. And, you know, I'm still figuring out what to do with that. But, you know, I'll let you guys know if I decide to make a Let's Play out of it or maybe just a review for it. There we go, I actually leveled up there. That's also another thing, make sure to level, you know, you can heal up if you level, but not always something you can do if you're low on health. But yeah, so, as I was saying, trying to grind out, like, I was getting pretty close to actually getting to level 99, funny enough. And, like, I wasn't sure how far the level system went, because I know some games, you know, you max out at 99, while others, you can keep going. Weirdly enough, like Dark Souls, for example, is one where you can level up, so to say, to extraordinary heights. So, but I never try to go into ridiculous amounts or try to max level, unless it's something that seems possible, like it isn't a ridiculous grind that you'd be doing for the next 10 hours. And, you know, like, I think I did that for Kingdom Hearts 2, actually. I did grind all the way to 99, because that's just, you know, what you sometimes do when you're trying to grind for certain materials to craft the ultimate weapon. Come on. Darn it. Those bugs are a lot more annoying than I thought they would be. Wait, seriously? I got sent all the way back there? Oh well. But yeah, at least I still do have my creeper medallion that I can use. But I do need to get my level again, which I think would be easier to do against the wyverns than trying to kill the bone guys. There we go. But yeah, so like I very rarely ever max out of my game's levels. Like the only other time I can remember maxing out in a game would probably be, funny enough, Ys 1, but only because your max level you can get at that is level 20. Yeah, I know, it's pretty weird, but apparently there are some games where you can't go any higher. But it was a really old game, and you know, it was technically a two-parter. What the? Oh, I got killed by the hands. Even though I was really close to leveling there. Come on. I really need to make sure I do that and heal. But oh well, at least I didn't have to go as far back this time. But yeah, so I feel max leveling should only you should only level up if you are planning on taking, say, on an extra boss that is like the hardest one in the entire game, and you find appropriate enemies that you can actually level up against. Because when I was playing through Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, 2 second chapter, the game I got to a good spot where I got some decent levels, but once you get to a certain level in that game, the enemies, of course, significantly drop how much they XP they give each character depending on their level. So, say if I was level 95, then an enemy that used to give me 100 XP could maybe only start giving me like 20 or 30. So at that point, it's kind of like, and then of course to level up, you need like another 100 or another 1,000 XP. So it really becomes like the developers definitely had a certain level in mind that you would need to be, but that you didn't need to be max to be able to beat certain enemies. Oh good, I got my new armor. That should help out. Well, that's kind of interesting actually. That's even weirder. That's pretty cool actually. Glad I'm recording this. Oh yeah, I probably continue on here. And maybe I should just kind of keep moving here, because those bugs are kind of annoying. Okay, let me get out of here. Okay, yeah, this next section here is kind of annoying just because of the slippery floor. And in this area, you kind of have to be careful because going a certain route will make you, there we go, we got an emerald. So now whirlwind has been increased. But let me try something here that I'm fairly certain I know I can do. So now with the cloak, and if we just stand here for a little bit, there we go. So we get healed up, which is really nice. So if you can find a place where you're not badgered by enemies and need to heal up, the cloak is a good item for that. So we can just sit here, and thankfully it heals a little bit more than just like 1 at a second or something. But let's go ahead and go for this. And now we go this way, see what's over here. Well, there's just that guy, but let's go ahead and move on here. Oh, here we go. We got some more ore. So now we can level up our axe to level 5 when we get the chance. Which we'll make sure to do once we find another save point. That's always the best time, is when you can teleport back to where you left off. So this one you have to be careful, because you can slip off. There aren't any railings this time. But thankfully we were able to get through that just fine. I remember when I played this game before, I'm pretty sure I would mess up in that spot there and keep, oh cool, got the Earth Dragon Claws. So now I can finally have traction. And here's a variant of an old favorite, right? But of course I'm really glad that I have my Dragon Claws now. So definitely, like, at least that's my mind. But if you really want to max level and try and make it easier for you, go right ahead. It just means you spend a lot more time with useless fighting sometimes. And I usually prefer to have my enemies to be a certain challenge, even if I remember some bosses being a lot harder than others, you know, weirdly enough. Like, that's always the weird thing sometimes, is how some enemies in a game can be harder than the final boss. And not just because they're extra, but, you know, that they just, like, maybe they're more powerful for some reason. I don't know. At least that's how they treated one of the characters. But yeah, so now that with, let's try looking over here before I move on. Just to, okay, this just, I think this leads me back to, getting back up here if I want to, but that's only if we need to go back for something. But nah, not really. Of course, you could try continuing through this without the Dragon Claws, but I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you prefer a bit better challenge, right? It's kind of up to you. Well, thankfully, some of those enemies dropped those nice healing items for us. Okay, so I'm wondering if those little bug guys actually heal up those enemies or for them or not. Yeah, it looks like they do. There we go. We even got another level too, which is really nice. But yeah, so I always prefer finding a good balance between ease and challenge. You know, because there is kind of a threshold for like frustration, I believe. You know, everyone's frustration levels are different. Like some can be completely fine with a certain level and challenge, and while others could care less. There we go. Had to use boost there just to make sure, but yeah, he's definitely one of the harder enemies to deal with. So let's go ahead and purify the statue. So now we have a spot to go to. Now let's go back to the first floor so we can upgrade our weapon here, as well as our armor while we're at it. There we go. So got that all taken care of. Let me just, yeah, I don't have any more. So, actually let me go ahead and do the blessing here. Even though it doesn't do that much, it's not like it's costing me an arm or a leg or anything. Let's see, and then I'll just stave off for now and save up. Alright, so sadly that's all we have time for today, so join us next time as we continue our, or as we finally take up arms against the boss for the sand area here, and hopefully find the next level to, you know, find our friends and anything and everything like that. So until next time, have fun gaming.